Oh my god, it's my first day at WeWork. I'm so excited for this job. I wonder how my first day will be like. I wonder how the office will be like. Wait a minute. Why is nobody working? What are they all doing there? Why are they all kneeling down? Wait, oh my god. Are they worshipping Adam Newman?
Welcome to the world of WeWork. What is WeWork, you may ask? WeWork is the brainchild of our one and only Adam Newman. WeWork has revolutionized the way we work by harnessing the power of technology. If I could have 15 minutes of your time, I would like to introduce to you the basics of our faith. So let us now know more about WeWork. Our one and only Adam Newman has immense power within WeWork. To be more specific, he possesses legitimate power and referent power. Now let me bring you through what I mean by that. Adam Newman held the highest position in WeWork, the CEO. He need not answer to anyone, as he is the God above all. Adam Newman also made sure to hold legitimate power through voting rights. While our fellow brothers and sisters have Class A shares that have 1 vote per share, our leader possessed majority of Class B and C shares, which have 20 votes per share. But that is all right, as we trust our chosen one to make the best decisions for us. On top of that, our one and only Adam Newman used his charm and charisma for the benefit of WeWork on several occasions. He was a role model for his employees, and he was persuasive with investors. He only took 12 minutes to convince the CEO of SoftBank, Masayoshi Son, to invest 4.4 billion US dollars in WeWork. His efforts has brought about a lot of prosperity in our company. We, as his followers, are willing to abide by his principles, even though they may seem questionable to the outside world. We believe that we will bring us to greater heights, and we will follow all that he tells us to do. Whether it's a 2 a.m. meeting or a 20-hour workdays, we will be there with him all the way. Yes, sir. In summary, Adam Newman has so much power within WeWork. Brother Joel, I will now pass on to you to continue enlightening them.
Thank you, Brother Carter. Our glorious leader, Adam Newman, has also put in place for us a few incentives and benefits to reward us for our relentless loyalty to him. He has given us heart parties filled with alcohol and booze to help us drown our worries and motivate us to do better. The frat boy culture, as the outside world calls it, thus was created from this heavy drinking and hard partying. The sisters, however, do say that it is a turn-off for them. According to a news reporter a sister spoke to, which has caused the males to bond much together. Recently, however, some things have been feeling a bit off. We believe in self-control and the power it has, but alas, a few of us has been stepping out of line and doing things uncalled for to our sisters. In light of these parties, the lights and the atmosphere has allowed for the deeds of these brothers to go undetected. What's worse, when these sisters speak up, bad things end up happening. Sister Ruby Anaya was apparently sexually harassed twice during 2 parties where 2 different brothers went up to her and forcibly tried to kiss her and grab her by the waist, to which she resisted. When she spoke up, she ended up getting fired from our cult. The outside world also sees our frat boy culture as biased against the sisters, bringing up our board of directors as an example. Under our leader, Adam Newman, our board consisted of not a single sister. The outside world has a list of companies called the S&P 500, with most companies on it having at least 1 female director, a major contrast to our cult. To many in the outside world, it is apparent that we lack much on diversity and inclusion and contradict ourselves in claiming that we do have them. But despite this, I believe our leader knows what he's doing. In him, we can trust to make the
Hi everybody, we are Ginny and Natalie. And now let us share with you our analysis of the company's culture that we have observed as first day employees. Apologies for shoving Brother Joe aside just now. I was left with no choice, given that he appeared to be severely indoctrinated into the toxic WeWork culture, having worked here for years. From our outsider and rational perspective, we will be analyzing WeWork's frat boy culture, discriminatory practices, and leadership style. Newman's charisma essentially diverted attention from the fact that he was more interested in partying than working. For instance, Newman was known to demand tequila whenever he visited a WeWork location and was caught smoking marijuana on corporate flights. The founder's values and preferences have a strong impact on the creation of a company's culture. For WeWork, this is especially true given Newman's referent and legitimate power, meaning that WeWork's frat boy culture is deeply entrenched. For instance, I had the luxury of having a free-flow beer tap 10 steps away from my desk. How about you, Natalie? Did you enjoy the unlimited supply of beer?
Well, not really. Alcohol is not really my style, but definitely brothers Joel and Karthik enjoyed it a lot.
I guess you're right about that. In fact, my senior had described WeWork as a never-ending party, and I believe this culture is maintained through selection. Despite the numerous fun parties and free beers, my salary is way below that of my peers in other organizations. That's quite sad. In addition, the frat boy culture has created a climate that de-emphasizes work. According to my senior, the company's operations was held up with chewing gum and prayers, while day-to-day business depended on a hodgepodge of Google Docs and disorganized spreadsheets. Thus, I believe that WeWork's frat boy culture will have an adverse impact on the company. One cannot help but wonder, am I working for WeWork or we do not work? Now, I shall be passing the time over to Natalie, who will be sharing her equally harrowing experience.
Thank you, Ginny. Now I will be elaborating on the discriminatory practices and leadership style at WeWork. The frat boy culture, which was enabled by Newman's referent and legitimate power, also led to significant D&I problems. This culture is seen as a turn-off for some female professionals, resulting in an exclusionary culture for many female employees. The exclusion was exacerbated by the fact that WeWork did not have any women on its board of directors. It's only my first day and I'm already feeling the effects of it. Furthermore, Newman is known to be misogynistic. His legitimate power allows him to implement numerous discriminatory practices, such as demoting and marginalizing the chief of staff when she became pregnant, referring to her maternity leave as vacation or retirement. Is this even allowed?
It can't be that bad, right?
Quiet, Ginny. You won't understand the discrimination we have to go through unless you're a girl yourself. Moreover, this frat boy culture has led to sexual harassment cases. After WeWork employee Ruby Anaya claimed that she was sexually assaulted, her accusations were carelessly dismissed and she was fired instead. This is too much.
Okay, actually I did not expect that.
You see what I mean? Anyways, as having more gender diversity allows for more innovative solutions, boosting the productivity of companies, WeWork's D&I problems will deter women from entering WeWork, diminishing its talent pool and harming the quality of its workforce. One cannot help but wonder, am I working for WeWork or HeWork? Now I'll be analyzing the leadership style at WeWork. With his referent power, Newman could convince investors that he was a transformational leader through inspirational motivation. He regularly portrayed WeWork as a revolutionary company that could expand beyond its office leasing business, thereby inspiring followers through communicating a compelling narrative. However, Newman was not a genuine transformational leader. He has bought an architecture modeling software company, a coding bootcamp school, and a marketing software firm. Without a clear plan on how to transform WeWork, Newman has failed to envision attractive, attainable futures, thereby failing as the transformational leader. Newman's incompetence is evidenced by WeWork's attempts to sell these acquisitions right after his resignation. Thus, with regards to Newman's plans on transforming WeWork, it is safe to say that it did not work. I shall now pass the time on to the external management consultants who can hopefully save the company.
Hi everyone, I'm Shane and I'll be addressing the key recommendations to make WeWork work again alongside Bethany. Not to worry, Natalie, WeWork will be safe should it follow our recommendations. As management consultants from Bain & Company, we have thoroughly studied the culture of WeWork and developed several recommendations. This was a hard nut to crack. Am I right, Bethany?
Yeah, it was one of my toughest engagements. Many sleepless nights.
WeWork will have to influence transformational change, implement a three-pronged diversity and inclusion approach, and restructure its leadership. Without further ado, let us look at how they work. As Previously discussed, the frat boy culture in WeWork is intricately embedded into WeWork's organizational culture. Consequently, developmental change will not suffice to resolve this issue. Rather, transformational change that fundamentally overhauls WeWork's culture is needed. Thus, it can be said that WeWork needs a rework. Just like how Jin Yi shoved Joel out, we will need to shove out the bad in WeWork. To successfully overhaul this culture, WeWork should follow Lewin's 3 steps model. The company should first unfreeze the pre-existing culture by reiterating why the culture requires change. The company could call for a mass meeting to explain the company's dire situation. This approach follows Starbucks' successful overhaul, where reinstated CEO Howard Sludge managed to organize a mass congregation of leaders to underscore the importance of cultural changes. To execute change, the company should institute structure. Creating a new internal culture is highly dependent on its founders' values, preferences, and vision. A good place to start would be to re-elect or hire new leaders who can contribute positively to WeWork's early values, goals, and assumptions, since they will be able to determine the setup of the company and the employees they want to hire. Once they restructure and organize WeWork, they should begin to overhaul their existing frat boy practices and influence. As WeWork continues to mature, the new leaders will be able to remove employees who do not fit into the new culture and use a new selection criterion to maintain a capable leadership board and gradually improve employees' person culture match in the newly established culture. Now we're passing the time on to Bethany, who will be explaining and elaborating on diversity, inclusion, and leadership recommendations.
Thank you, Shane. As mentioned previously by Natalie and Jun Yi, WeWork's diversity and inclusion problem stems from its discriminatory practices. Moreover, the frat boy culture within the company must be uprooted to create a healthy environment for women to take part in. To address these issues, we've designed a cycle of improving gender inequality in WeWork. The first solution is to increase female representation within its leadership by instituting a quota that requires at least 30% female representation on the board, because WeWork is not just he work.
He work
Plus she work equals WeWork. The next approach is to establish a more open culture with increased transparency by improving the company's current methods for handling sexual harassment allegations. A suggestion can be to create a specialized unit within its human resources department to address sexual harassment cases. Firmer discrimination policies should be implemented to show that WeWork does not take such matters lightly, while also demonstrating a commitment in creating a safer environment for employees to work in. Additionally, discrimination often stems from a lack of healthy relationships. WeWork introduce more team building and bonding activities, such as sports events, as it enables employees to build trust in lighthearted environments, improves communication, and encourages collaboration despite differences. The 3 main recommendations for leadership are policies to prevent power consolidation, idea meritocracy culture, and an impartial voting system. The ultimate root cause of WeWork's culture issues is Newman's reckless abuse of power. To counter this, we suggest the implementation of strict policies to prevent another individual from power abuses. Moreover, Newman's inspirational appeals induce stakeholders to believe his ideas without properly evaluating their quality and feasibility. To ensure that stakeholders are not misled by such charismatic claims, WeWork should entrench an idea meritocracy culture, where essentially the best idea wins. To firmly ingrain this culture, WeWork should constantly stress the importance of this culture to their employees. The success of this method is modeled by Netflix, where employees must use corporate jargon to instill this market mindset. Another way to prevent the abuse of power by leadership is to create an anonymous, impartial voting structure so that all opinions are heard and taken into consideration, and no individuals are being punished for proposing alternative viewpoints. This voting system can also be used to elect their board in a more meritocratic way to further prevent the abuse of power. By adapting these recommendations, we believe that WeWork will be addressing the root of the company's problems, which are attributed to their organizational culture, lack of diversity, and leadership style. And with that, we thank you for listening to our presentation. WeWork. Looked like things went kind of berserk. But don't worry, just listen to me. We'll work it out, I guarantee. Let's talk diversity. It's plain to see that there's a lot of he and not enough she. As for abuse of power, it will only make things sour. We need to implement policies, establish equality. WeWork. Looks like things went kind of berserk, but it's never too late to stop the hate, to change your fate and set things straight.